Yes, hello everyone. Welcome everyone. Hope you're doing all right to another video Friday night with the lads. Yes, hello everyone. We are live on Twitch. We're live also on YouTube, and we are discussing everything related to not quite Jodie Bartler's. Jo is trying to show her off. She's coming back shortly. She won't be long. But we are discussing everything for the next 45 to an hour. Minutes to hour, all about the lasses. I've got Dale with me. How are you, Dale?
I'm all right. Fresh from just come back in from work, but we're fine.
Yeah, good to have you on finally because
I know.
and on a virtual one. We've had you on a real one as well, of course. But good to see you. Mickey's in the comments. Excited to see you, lads. Way I good to see you too, Mickey. Joe, how are you?
I'm fine, Tabby. Dozy, you got a lovely setup. I'll show you who else is on the other side. Get your comments in on which other player you think I've got on the other side. I will give you a clue on that one. It is a past player who is no longer with the club. With Jodie Bartle on this side, I'm feeling good. Looking forward to who I am as well, because I've really started enjoying playing that game. It's so
Hold a
fun.
minute. So you've got another player to your side. Is that what you're telling me?
To the right side of us, so to this side of us here,
Well, you're
there's
telling me
another player's
you've
top.
kidnapped a lass's player and you've got them in your room.
Shut up. Shut up. Sorry. I'm not getting you a drink, man. Fuck's sake.
But yes, welcome everybody. We are going to be playing Who Am I during the show. If you're watching the rerun along, just play along. Just play along. Why not?
Yeah.
These two don't know who I've gone for this week. And each week we are playing the game just for a little bit of fun. If you listen on the audio as well, if you listen on Spotify or Apple, however you're listening on this as well, please drop us a 5-star to get us up the search bar. That would be absolutely wonderful. So we've got a break at the moment. Of course, the lasses, some of the lasses rather, are going off to the international break, where they will be playing for the likes of England, the 23s, and the likes of Jamaica and Wales as well. But we're going to dissect the last two games. But before we do that, we will begin as ever with our clue one. Here we go, everyone. So, clue one: I do not support Newcastle. I do not support Newcastle.
Okay.
A little bit of music with it as well. Whilst you get your thinking brains on, everyone.
I've got some early guesses on that one.
So I think what that does, that literally rules out people who support Newcastle United. Obviously, it could be that you might think of ex-players or current players who are actually Geordies support Newcastle. It basically rules them out. So that is your clue one. Write down what you lads think. Write down 2 or 3 who you think as well. But a little bit of a tough one, I think, isn't it? But yeah, clue one is I do not support Newcastle United. There we go.
It's gonna make people delve into some knowledge, and also probably I can imagine a few of you viewers they are going to be jumping through I'm just seeing the comment there from James. Joe, wouldn't surprise me if you put a bracelet and some false nails on one arm and reached back into the shot like Jodie's trying to escape. Jodie doesn't wear bracelet or even nails. I don't think. When bracelets she does. Jodie Bartle.
We don't need more encouragement for Joe to do that stuff, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be one. I feel like we're going to be jumping onto Instagram and searching some players and seeing which matches they've been to. But I've got a couple of early shouts. Good first clue, that one. I like that.
Yeah,
that's a good one, that one.
It is, right. So going back 2 games ago, Dale, you had the privilege of joining me in the press. People see some of the clips that I put together for the vlog. How was it for you, first of all?
It was fantastic. I was like, my mind was blown, like, press, because like I had the press at Kingston Park, but this was at St James's Park, so it was fantastic just going in there. All the staff were friendly. They were just amazing, and just where we were, it's just like you can just see the pitch all around there. It was fantastic. I couldn't believe it. It was like I was like, I had speechless, really.
Yeah, it was really good to give you the access. Obviously, Joe was with the little, and Johnny was already had darts, which was about 5-6 months back. So yeah, it was really good to get there behind the scenes, and you'll see some clips in a moment while we talk about the game. But obviously, the build-up was being back, Joe, at St James's Park. That was the whole excitement because it's the first time since pre-season. But the first time independently, how do you feel it went in terms of the build-up? Because it was interesting that the club, i.e. the men's, didn't really push it. It was more the women's this time around.
I feel like us as fans, we pushed and pushed and pushed. Obviously, that's what we do in the women's club themselves. They were flagging it all over the shop, but I just didn't feel like there was quite as much media coverage to the build up to it as there has been in previous times. And I mean, not to take anything away, maybe it's a point where they've tried to see how much solo attention they can drum up, just to gauge where they're at as a sole entity. Because at the end of the day, yes, we're all one whole club, but the women's team and the men's team are separate in the entity of the fan bases and such. So I think it was maybe a little bit of a let's test the waters and see how well we do by just promoting it by ourselves without the men's club, without any outside influence. And I mean, I think on that scale, although the attendance sort of shocked a few people and it was a bit lower than what some thought, even myself, I think it was a decent turnout for where we want to be. You think most Super League clubs are pulling in between 7 to 10,000. I say most, some are pulling in 7 to 10,000 on a regular, and if we can match up to a Super League club in terms of attendance, which we did, and maybe even a little bit then some at our main stadium, it's a good sign. But no, the build up wasn't as extravagant and as much forced down. I don't want to put it that way, for lack of a better word, and it wasn't as forced down your throat as it has been in the past, but that's worked in a sense with Geordies. We love knowing there's a match on, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a hard one to gauge, but it was fun for us as fans. Us as fans, we love the build up to a St. James's Park meeting. Oh God, getting onto like outside the stadium and everything, man, just love it. I love it. I love being at St. James's Park. I do.
Yeah, if you haven't seen any of the videos from NFTV Extra or the main one, do check them out on the channel. Deal just over, 11,500. As Joe was saying, the club weren't pushing it. And it was, for me, it was an eye-opener just to see how well the lasses they'll actually get. I mean, 11,500 is still absolutely fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But it's the first time really that the men didn't push it, because you have like the likes of Mia Dad pushing in the past, Amanda, the club would push it, the players would push it. So it was more almost like they were solo. So do you think that that's the way forward, or do you think the men should still be pushing the lasses in terms of get bums on seats, get it in St. James's Park?
I think the best one to do would be still like from both of them, the men and the women's, just trying to push it more. Well, the lasses do it the lasses do it anyway. It's St. James's Park or Kingston Park. They do it anyway, but it'd be nice for the men's side to promote them as well, because we're all one big family, the men's and the women's. It makes sense. Together we'll move as a family, we lose as a family, we win. So, and to gain the crowds more, we need to push it a lot more.
Do you know, on Dale saying that, sorry, to jump in there, on Dale saying that, do you know what I would love to see? It's some more women's games, and we've seen it a bit last season and the season before when Steve Harper and such would turn up. I would like to see the likes of like Shola being at a match, you know, even maybe some of the players who are out injured, you know, fulfilling media duties almost, Sven Botmans and such, do a meet and greet with them in the store. Like, that would bring people alone. I know it's kind of not the point, but it brings more eyes to the women's game as well by utilising the men's team and the star power that they've got.
Show your match ticket and you meet Sven Botman.
Like literally, if you show your match ticket, there he is.
Because he had all the squad over Saudi, didn't he? He had all the big wigs, likes of Darren Eales, Silverstone. They're all over Saudi, obviously, because the men had their trip over there. Dale, go on.
Yeah, like what Joe said, I totally agree with that, because the last couple of times with me and Lee, we saw Nikos Stabidas. He came over, all that, and it's just like even if some of the squad players are not, like with the lasses are not even in the starting lineup, they can do like a meet and greet at half time in the concourse, even if it's for like 2 to 3 minutes. A couple of them are there. They can go and sign like the match tickets or piece of papers that they've got or the stickers. And it'll make it a lot more. It will make it a lot more pushing. Going, look, like even the kids going to the school going, I went to see Newcastle Lasses today, and I got to meet Amber, I got to meet Geordie, I've got to meet Grace. It's like, it's going back there, like, and then the other kids are going to go to them, and well, they saw them, I want to go. So then it's going to push it on from the game, going on to schools, going on to friends, going on to more family, and it's just going to be more turnouts.
Yeah, I'll read some of your comments out before we start chatting about the game. Ella says, hello, Ella Musgrove, how are you doing? James, rightly or wrongly, the Lasses playing in St. James's Park is becoming normalised, so slightly less incentive to show up as a novelty. More worthy opponent, i.e. the Mackhams, will see a bigger attendance, in my opinion. Pete Adnett!
Oh, pestering Pete Adnit. It's pestering Pete Adnit. Pete Adnit, how are you doing today? Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-bow.
Lovely. And NSI, I think I pronounced that right. Good evening. I don't know if that's if Una I'm right, but yeah. So we'll have a little chat. Main deal. We were just outside, well, inside the press, talking about the lineup. So we'll get Joe's thoughts when we come back. Is out, and obviously everyone is pottering around. We're just seeing Aaron and Sam from the Toon review as well. Dale, you've got the lineup. What's the headlines?
The headline is Alicia Body's on the bench.
Why?
We got told that she had picked up a knock, so it's like they're not risking that. So on the bench, which is wise because she's like a main element of the lasses in midfield we need. It's good to see like the changes there. Amber Stobbs is now back, starting again, because that's what we missed last. That's what we missed against Bristol. We needed Amber in the middle, just anchoring the midfield, just passing the balls around. It's good to see like Becky's like if not afraid to make changes, to go right. This is what we need to make changes, and it's great to see.
Yeah, Katie Barker's also in the lineup. Obviously, Alicia, just touched upon that as well. Dale mentioned she's got a knock. She hasn't trained all week, so that's why. And you've also got, just on the bench as well, this is a little bit of a surprise, is that Liv Watt drops to the bench. I wasn't at Bristol last week because of clash with Forest, but a lot of people are saying she had a good first half. And Amy Andrews, who I feel like she's been put on the right wing, and I don't feel we're getting the most out of her, so Sibley will start there as well. But obviously, we'll see how the lasses get on. They're on the pitch now, training. So Liv Watt, of course, Joe, you were down Bristol, and Amy Andrews, which I thought at that time was probably the right decision. But are you surprised with the lineup? You're on mute.
Oops. Hi, back again. Joe with microphones. Let's get used to it. Aaron Embleton. Anyways, the lineup, it was a one that I was a little bit shocked in. I feel like Becky's very much behind back in Amy Andrews, which I'm not against. I'm not. I know a lot of people think I'm not the biggest fan of Amy Andrews, but I think that lass has got tons of potential, and I can't wait to see it unleashed. But I was shocked not to see her starting at St James's Park, considering she's got a little bit of a record there now against AC Milan and such. She made a statement there. But for the back lineup, it was very shocking to not see Potsy. No, sorry, not Potsy. I'm thinking about a different game there. Sorry about that. No, the back lineup, it was standard. It was nice to see that at St James's Park. It's nice to see Demi Stokes, Amber Stobbs at St James's Park. It was a steady lineup. I think Andrews was the main one that was a big shock to us. Olivia Watt maybe as well, but I think we'll quite often see Lewis Jewell taking that sort of first pick spot, if you would. Not what I would want. I would personally want Olivia Watt. I think, and no slight at all to Lewis Jewell. I think Olivia Watt starting at the right back role is just it's a go to every single game for me. So Olivia Watt and Andrews not starting was a bit of a to me, but you know.
And Dale, let's talk about the game, because we did not get off to a good start, did we?
No, we didn't. Unfortunately, it was trying to play it back into defence and just went straight to the Southampton player and scored. But it was a bit down. I could see we were watching it. We can see the crowds kind of like they were shocked, but they never give up on the lasses. I think the formation didn't help in the first half either, because we were seeing on live. It was kind of, it's not what we normally play. We normally go on a different formation, which allowed Southampton to just easily just get in the gaps, slot in, passing around, and then unfortunately Potsy went off. I think it was 15 minutes in, Potsy came in. It was like a defensive, like obviously we changed formation, and from then on we just pushed on trying to get that equaliser, which was good to see. But that's what we need, though. That's what the lasses need: challenging games. Like when 2 to 3 seasons ago, we were easily winning like 6-0, 4-0, 10-0. It's good to see the lasses actual getting teams now that are fighting, and it's good to see. It's good to see them actual having to think. We're not going to have games up this easy now, and it's good to see them battling. And you can see they want to put a performance every single game, which is great to see.
I thought Freya Gregory was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, unreal. I want her in Newcastle.
Well, she's on loan, isn't she, from Villa, isn't she?
Yeah.
So I thought she was absolutely unreal. I know she's got the tap in, but overall, that our play, especially on the left side, a technical ability was just absolutely fantastic. And I thought we were struggling, to be honest with you, in the first half. I thought it was pretty tough in Newcastle. But I thought one real bright spark for me, Joe, was Beth Lumsden once again.
Oh, she is becoming a living Geordie legend. She's going to be one of those players that in 10 years' time people are wanting to see come back and talk to the fans and stuff. No slight at all to it. Like, she is absolutely amazing at what she does, and she just seems to be getting better and better and better. You can't fault her pace, our control, our flexibility. She can switch into many different positions. Our finishing is becoming better and better and better. I absolutely think Beth Lumsden is one of those players who we know is going to be here to stay for a long time. Excuse me.
Yeah, I thought she was absolutely incredible. I think she's been probably right up there for she's got to be in the top 3 this season so far. Without a shadow of a doubt. I think she is the one true quality player. And when she first come in, I was like, I don't know if she's good, but is everyone good at tier 3 level? Because I thought it was harsh on, Tyler leaving as well. But Beth's obviously now moved over at the left, and she's left or right footed, technically absolutely fantastic. Just brilliant crosses, corners. A corner she always goes for that back post now, and that's a tactic. But half-time deal, what do you think Becky Langley said to the lasses? Because they had to come out with a different side, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Becky just basically just says at half time, just make more decisive in the passing rather than like trying to just like quick going out there. Just make sure you don't lose that ball dead cheaply. Let's make Southampton work for it. We need to push them back a bit more because at that time we haven't tested their goalkeeper. We hadn't even tested their defence either. So I think at half time, Becky's told Amber to move more central centre mid, and we went down the wings a lot more. And during the second half, you could tell we were pushing Southampton back and back and back, and more pressure, and they were going further back. And also in the crowds, you could tell something was happening. The tide was turning. We're getting more progression.
We had to, didn't we?
Definitely, because if we kept on going, because we were seeing on the live, if we keep playing the way we're doing, Southampton's going to get that second goal, and the second goal is going to be the most important. If Southampton got it, it would have been over. If we got it, game back on.
I think our next goal was crucial. If Southampton nicked 2-0, I think that's game over. Yeah. And I think it's the Newcastle's run of form. You don't want to get beat. You've got to try and keep St James's Park, that record beaten. And obviously she made a couple of double changes. Alicia come on, I think it was around about the 82nd minute. But we all questioning Joe, why isn't Georgia Gibson getting on? She's got a knack of scoring at the Gallagher. And we're like, why is Georgia not coming on?
It's times like that where people are going to question and I understand why they do. People are going to question the management and go, why are you not bringing on this player much earlier in the game? I personally thought Georgia would have been a perfect fit for that match about 65th minute. Bring her on, because Georgia's got this fire behind her where she wants to keep that record going, where every time she comes on, she can score at St James's Park. And I really think her energy and her passion. It's an occasion where you're playing at the Cathedral on the Hill. You need players who know what it means. It's almost like Champions League for Newcastle United. Like Sean Longstaff and Dan Burn during Champions League for Newcastle United were out of this world. So St James's Park at the minute is very special for the lasses. So when they play, they get the Geordies on, get the Newcastle black and white lasses on. I tell you right now, they are going to do a belters of a performance. They're going to put their heart, body and soul onto that pitch because of what it means. And we need more of that, I think, when we play at St James's Park, especially when it comes around to that fabled game against the Mackhams up there. So yeah, I was shocked at Georgia not coming on. I was a little bit disappointed. I won't shy away from that. I was, but you know how it is. We pulled it back in the end very, very much by the skin of our teeth from a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful performance of Diana Cooper. Probably our best performance in black and white stripes to date.
Yeah, we will talk about Diana very, very shortly. This is the moment that we score. Dale tells me off because I just forget where it was. So that's obviously the first goal going, and that's the Southampton one. And obviously we're doing it live, and it's something that we like doing on the channel is to bring live broadcast now from football stadiums that we can. I think we've done it at Forest, we've done it at St James Park a couple of times, we've done it at Man United. We're probably going to look at doing Man United again as well. So yeah, and it's a case of, you mentioned Diana. We had a few chances leading up to it, Dale, and it's, can we knock on the door? Can we knock on the door? And we did. And it was literally last gasp. Corner comes in. I think there was a fumble, or it wasn't cleared properly. Came back in. And it was a scuff, and it fell to Diana. Great finish, and everyone went absolutely nuts, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. It was like I said on the press. Diana was player of the match by a country mile. She was absolutely incredible. If it wasn't for Diana's performance, I would have said Southampton probably would have easily got 3 to 4 goals. Her defensive is unbelievable. But that scene, I like when we were live, I didn't even know who scored it. Lee didn't. Lee was gone, so I was like laughing my head off, going, I don't even know who it is, Lee. I think not that. But seeing the raw in the Gallagher end when you score that, it's unbelievable.
Oh, it was brilliant, wasn't it? It was absolutely great moment. And like I say, people are listening on the audio. We'll show clips on our live stream, and I just forget where I am for a minute. I've done that a couple of times now at Birmingham. I've done it now, and it's just sometimes you're forgetting that moment where you are just a fan in us. I know I've got to put my media head on, but I'm a fan at the end of the day, and I think I wouldn't say it's a game of two halves. I probably think that Southampton probably 60-40 probably shaded it, but Newcastle have obviously came away with a point. And there was something funny, Joe, I don't know if you wouldn't have seen this as well, but I put it on the vlog, but the ball was kicked quite late in the game towards the like where we on the press, and Jeff Gans and heads it back in. It was after, it's one of that moments he just gets up and do you know like a Colin moment. Remember Colin?
Yeah.
That, I was like, Jeff, get your boots on, get them on. Yeah, you'll score some goals, yeah.
The funniest thing is, though, Lee, he didn't go for a proper head. He just let it bounce off his head and go down.
I know, it was a bit of
fun. It
wasn't
like a proper full-on like running there, going there. It was just like let it jump on his head.
Hope you heard. Mickey says, lovely, going mad. Thank you. Matt says, yeah, agree with what you said, Joe, about Gibson coming on. KV was a driving force during the game as well. Could see her firing everyone up. And Georgia is unlucky not to feature that much this season, especially at St James Park. That was criminal, says Ensai. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Do correct me if I'm not pronouncing that. But obviously Newcastle did nick a point. And speaking of Diana, she was on press duties and she spoke really well.
Pretty incredible, to be fair. Obviously, we played against AC Milan here in pre-season, but to do it in a league game and the last minute or the last seconds of the game was pretty special. I think as a team, we worked really hard to get to that point, it's a hard feeling to describe. I think the fans were incredible today, and I think we really needed them, and I think they pushed us to the last minute, which really helped us. But yeah, the emotions that kind of came over me were pretty special. But yeah, I'm just really proud of the team for pushing right to the last second. So, but yeah, I'm loving it up here. I think the group we have is a fantastically talented group. I think Becky has really made me feel great, and I'm loving being in Newcastle. It's amazing to be up here, and I'm the happiest I've been in my football for a long time. So yeah, Potsy's a fantastic player. I think she's done great things for the club. She's obviously been here a while now, so she knows the ins and outs of what it means to be a Newcastle player. She's taught me a lot over the last few months that I've been here. Obviously I was gutted to see her go off today, but I think when Liv Watt came on, I thought she'd done amazing as well. So yeah, Potsy's great.
So Dale answered questioned some of Deanna's there, but that was a good experience for you, Dale. But I've got a question for you. I just thought of this. It wasn't planned or anything. Obviously, we knew that Potsy then got injured. And Joe, 2 questions I'm going to throw at you. Has Deanna recovered from the mistake that cost her a goal earlier this season? Because for me, that was, I agree with you, best performance of the season. But now Potsy's out for a few weeks, which we believe that she is after that game. Who gets that slot alongside her? Because you've got Jodie Bartle slowly coming back. Liv Watt can play centre-back. Do you drop Hannah back there? Is it Deanna and plus one of those 3 at the moment?
You've definitely named the 3. Well, I would take Jodie out of it until Jodie's back. I think when Jodie's back, she takes that centre-back role. It's almost an easy fix to the problem. don't see it always being Liv Watt, but I also don't always see it being Hannah Greenwood. What I could imagine is that it's Hannah Greenwood to start a game, and then Hannah Greenwood gets moved forward into that central defensive mid role, which we've seen her boss so many times before, for Olivia Watt to come on for another midfielder. Maybe your likes of your Emma Kelly, your Jazz McQuaid to slot into that centre back position alongside Diana. I think it's going to be a rotation between them two until Jodie's back, and even them, I don't think Jodie comes straight into the role. I don't think she steps straight into the side.
Did you see Jazz McQuaid centre back?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No. So what I meant was, like, say
Amber.
Hannah Greenwood starts Hannah Greenwood starts in centre back. Then later in the game, Hannah Greenwood gets moved up the pitch into like a central midfield or a central defensive midfield role, and you take off a Jasmine McQuaid or an Amber Stobbs from midfield to bring Olivia Watt on in the centre back role.
Right, I thought you said Jazz was centre back there. I was thinking,
boys, come on, man, come on. I play.
I should be taking on the fullback and all sorts.
To be fair, lately you could end up seeing something like that.
We've seen Rachel Furness, another one I forgot as well.
Exactly, Fernie should be back too as well. That'll be good. That'll be really good.
You can easily see Amber just slipping straight into centre back.
Oh, easy.
She did it well.
I think she's much better driving that midfield. So
definitely. But she went centre back. She went centre back against Liverpool, and
I think it's interesting what happens here, because obviously the international break now, a couple of weeks off. Obviously we'll play a week on Sunday, which we'll talk more about that later. But it's interesting. There's a place up for grabs if Fairness is back. You've got Liv Watt, you've got Jodie on the way back as well. Hannah could drop back as well, because we know that Potsy, and obviously Diana spoke really well of Potsy there. We're going to hear from Becky about the performance as well. Here she is.
Becky.
Equalising in the last minute there was probably at the least we deserved in the game. I thought we had a much stronger second half than the first, and yeah, I think it's an important point, but it's important to take 2 points off a team who's in and around us. So Southampton are an experienced side with a manager who's played in the WSL and Championship, who has a lot of experience to bring as well. So yeah, I think we're happy with the point. We would have preferred to obviously have taken all 3, but yeah, I think the attitude of the players to push right through to that 89th minute just shows how committed they are, and yeah, what good characters we've got in the squad. We went with a box in midfield, and we didn't feel like actually we were getting as much success from that as we'd hoped. And actually we changed the shape in the second half. We played in a 3-5-2 in the second half, and having that extra player in a higher, more advanced position I thought helped the team. And then I thought Amy's introduction actually gave the team a bit more energy. And yeah, we just looked to push on from there. It was good to get Liz some minutes today as well. She had a bit of a knock during the week, so she wasn't in a position to start the game. But yeah, I thought again she did well when she came on, and as did Sophie Hayward actually. I thought there's maybe even a penalty shout in there for Sophie as well. But yeah, credit to the girls in that second half. It's important to have a squad of players, and I thought those players who came off the bench really impacted as well.
I have to agree with what you said there in terms of the subs. I didn't want to see Amy Andrews. Dale, I'm coming to you on this one. I didn't want to see Amy Andrews on the right, because I think she's been... Well, I think she's been wasted. I think she was wasted on the right wing the last couple of games. So when she came on, there was something I don't know, I was putting herself about. Alicia Body come on as well. Interesting what Becky said there, and I do agree, because she's changed it. It wasn't working, and I don't think we see it enough. It men and women in terms of our football club. If something isn't working, not just go like for like. Let's change it. Let's just mention she had a more advanced midfield. It's things that we want to see from in-game management, that look, this isn't working, scrap it, let's try something else. And it did. We got a goal.
Yeah, I totally agree. We were talking about it there, going about the 60, I think it was the 60th minute. We're like, we need to make some changes. When things weren't happening, it was kind of going like, oh, we're settling it for. Then she's made the changes, and Amy Andrews, she was when she came on up front, she was causing the problems for Southampton to drop back, and that allowed Beth and Katie on the wings to go down and cause more problems. And it was in Alicia coming on, more attacking. Amber sat back in the defensive mid while Alicia there, and it was I think even the defensive, the centre backs that got pushed to move more forward to cause Southampton to go back, which was great to see. We need to see that more. a lot earlier rather than like leaving it like the only negative about Becky is leaving it like the last 15 minutes to try and get a point or like that. It'd be nice to be a bit more earlier to get more back into the game a lot more quicker.
I'd probably say that about Eddie Howe as well. You need to make tactical changes as well. So good on him. I think it's brave and it works. So here's mine and Dale's reaction. Scoring very late on, obviously. Would you say that's a game of two halves?
Definitely. The first half, Southampton were well the better team. We didn't know in the first half. We didn't know what was happening. We had no structure. We had no shape. We were kind of free to get into it. But the second half, Becky gave them a massive talking to, and they just come out fighting, and they fought like mad to get that point. Fair play to Southampton. They were really good shape wise, but the last 10 minutes they were pushing further and further back, no one half. That just encouraged the lasses to just go and get that point. In Diana Cooper, literally last kick of the game, just gone in there, just proves how important a point is in this league. Yeah. That point can come in, you never know, get promoted.
You know, it is very, very tight in this league, as I've touched upon several times. But obviously, as Dale mentioned, first half Southampton were quite clearly, in my opinion, the better side. 4 chances. Yes, we gift them a goal for an error. They hit the woodwork, which Moan tipped on the bar. We hit the woodwork in the first half, but it was only a real chance. Second half, we started to create chances. We had substitutions, fresh legs. As Dale says, we were getting them further back. And literally, it was a last kick corner comes in, and just a bit of a scramble. We had no idea. We're all giving it large because it felt... Because Newcastle conceded late twice this season. So everyone's coming out in the press and all that, and fans deflated. But obviously, Newcastle have came away and grabbed a much valuable point and still unbeaten at St James's Park. So
that's the main thing, Lee. Still unbeaten at St James's Park. That is an amazing record. Next week it's going to be a tougher game, but I've got faith in these lasses. They're getting more and more confident. But going to bounce back. See, this is what you needed. A great bounce back. Just shows character. We're 1-0 down, but they'd never give up hope.
I think that's well said there, and Dale. So that was Diana, Becky, and mine and Dale's reaction. Joe, I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to play a bad cop here because I have to address it. There was some criticism of our Claudia Moan's performance over on social media, and it's starting to creep in a little bit more often than not nowadays. It's starting to become when the men lose, you just see off Twitter. I don't think it's that extreme as of yet, but as the lasses grow, she's had a little bit of criticism. I've seen a family were back answering some fans on the social media, and it doesn't look pretty, does it? And she's done a couple of mistakes, but overall, I think she's been good.
Oh, I think without doubt, and even early on, not long after we signed one of the first podcasts, Lainey came on and she said, I've seen Claudia play and I'm not very high on her. And even Lainey's came to me and went, I'm being proven wrong about Claudia, because Claudia has been, for me, she's shown big reasons more often than not why she should be that number one, why she should be that. And God, so many would love to see Grace back in the number one, but at the end of the day, I always go back to this. I always quote it. We need to be ruthlessly ambitious. Simple as that. Yes, Claudia made a couple of mistakes. I will admit that. And in the game against Southampton, maybe there's been a couple of times where our distribution was in question, I would say, and a couple of times where I don't think she should have came out of a goal. Came off a line, sorry. But she has. And look, it's one of those ways. Sometimes you're not going to make the right decision. You can't make the right decision every single time. That's just not the way things work. So I think the stick that she gets isn't fair. Because she's came in, she's filled a role in this club that's been fantastic. I rate Claudia Moan. Really rate Claudia Moan. Claudia is a Geordie. Claudia is a Geordie. Na 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 na. Hey,
we start that off doing Bromley, and she's getting dead and browsed to it. Bless her. I think she's a fine keeper. And look, goalkeepers make mistakes, and she'll make another one some point during the season. But defenders get away with it, not 9 times out of 10. So, and strikers 10 out of 10 normally. But we're going to go back to our Who Am I? Because we've ended the first segment. Bit of groovy music. Clue 1 is, I do not support Newcastle United. I do not support Newcastle United. Clue 2.
So they were employed during the season, like they were employed, they've been
January.
there for last season as well. Right, I was employed by the club last season. That's what I'm thinking. So it's not after.
Wait there. I might. Oh. So it could be staff as well.
Aye, yeah.
Could be anybody associated with Newcastle United. But
Oh
now
man, I
we know
was thinking the players. Right,
it's,
I
it's
think.
someone present. We know that now, and they do not support Newcastle United.
Right, I think I know who it is.
Yeah, I've got a few added now. I've eliminated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of me guesses that I had.
I've got 4.
So I've got 4 at the moment. Yeah. That's interesting. Very interesting one.
Keep coming in. We'll reveal clue 3 towards the end of our next segment. So yeah, Mickey thinks it's Sophie Hayward. Do you, Mickey? We'll find out. PBG says NSI. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So thank you for your guesses. Do keep them coming in. We shall reveal them. The lads are also going to reveal after question 1, question 2, and question 3 what they think it is as well. But we'll move on to the very tricky WSL side. We'll go straight into it with me and Dale talking about the lineups. Outside, we've come in just for the blaring music to stop it. Dale, we've got the lineup here. There's quite a few changes, isn't there?
Yeah, there's what I can see is 7 changes by Becky last game against Southampton, which is good to see. She's got confidence in all the lasses to do a brilliant job, and some of them might not had the experience of playing against a Super League team, and they've got the chances now against Liverpool today, which I find is brilliant.
Yeah, there is some injury news. Rachel Ferris unfortunately doesn't make it. She would have loved to play today. Her best pal, or one of her best pals, Rachel Lowe's, is here. And obviously we've just seen Leah Cataldo and Jodie Bartle. It's good to see Leah on the pitch as well, so hopefully they're not too far back. And Potsy, we believe, is ruled out for a few weeks, which is a shame. But obviously there is a few changes. There's places up for grabs, Dale, and you were just saying off camera then rotations come in here. Obviously Hannah is probably the one that everyone's got their eye on instead of Claudia, but there's a chance to stake your claim, isn't there?
Exactly. So this is what I like about Becky. Becky's you can tell she doesn't play favourites, but this is a chance. If you're in good form and you play well, you're going to keep your positioning. So obviously Claudia gets a nice break. She's been played a lot more, sort of more of give Claudia a break and try Hannah and Grace out see what they're like.
And we first time this season we have a Devs player on the bench, a development player, so that's great to see. So hopefully we'll see Eva get on. Two Devs players on the bench. Ella was also on the bench as well. Not Joe, I'm going to come with Dale. Were you surprised at how much she did rotate, in particular the goalkeeper?
Yes, I was, because I think Becky's took Claudia. Obviously she did mistakes. She wants to get her out the limelight. Just give her a bit of rest, and because deep down, I think she knew her confidence was kind of hindering by the little mistakes she was bringing in. But I didn't expect. I thought it'd be a couple of changes. I didn't expect the 7 that she was going to do. I thought Beth would have played. Hayes would have started. Try to give them a bit more run out to see, because if we did, unfortunately, we did get beat, but if we won Liverpool, we only had to get a point against Man U.
Only.
Only.
Yeah, we will come to the game in a minute. But Joe, is it too early to say it, or do you think Hannah's now nailed on second choice?
Yeah.
It's a harder question than I think. It's not an easy one to answer that, because Hannah's played 2 competitive games, correct? Yeah. Right, and Grace hasn't played 1 competitive game yet. Yeah, she's been named on the bench here and there. I think it's hard to say that she's a definitive second. I know Grace hasn't played, and that would give you the reasoning to say so. But I think now, the next time we'll have a cup game, because that wasn't by far, and I think everyone would agree that was not Hannah's best performance. I was shocked because the first time she came out against Everton, she was phenomenal. I was really, really, really impressed by Hannah. I was like, wow, she's improved loads. And then I seen against Liverpool, and I was a bit like, it's not been as good. So you could see Grace get the chance next time, and then the time after that as well. Grace could come in as Claudia's replacement. It's hard to say. All I think I can see is to bring her back to Claudia. She is the definite number one. But I think it's got the room now to fluctuate between Grace and Hannah. Is that number 2 position?
Especially, obviously, we'll talk about the game. It's more or less. It's not a dead rubber because Newcastle can still technically finish third. Because second we can't because Liverpool play Everton next. But obviously we'll talk about the game in a second. But I spoke to Johnny about it. It's been such a tough game.
Going to be a really tough test. Yes, Liverpool have made changes, but we've made changes as well. And I actually agree with Becky's mind on this one in terms of making a few changes, getting some minutes in people's legs. I think Emma Kelly starting's a real bonus for Newcastle. Really interested to see Emma Kelly and Alicia Body in that midfield. Going forward will be really interesting as well. Katie Parker, I would imagine, will stay on the left with Sibley on the right. But Haywood and Anne just getting a chance together. No Hales, obviously, she's on the bench. So tough game, really tough game. But a similar level to probably what we were up against Everton.
And obviously they brought 3 coaches along. Fantastic support.
Yeah, really, really good. Look, it's Liverpool are a massive football club at the best of times. And it's nice that they've shown the same sort of commitment as well to the women's team. And, you know, they're definitely an out-and-out WSL team, and that's what Newcastle want to strive to do as well. So, yeah, great to see so many Liverpool fans, but hopefully they'll be outsung and outnumbered by the Newcastle fans.
3,000 in attendance at Kingston Park, which was brilliant. But Joe, Liverpool bringing that support. And, you know, people bang on about our support, that it's great. And you've got to sometimes just applaud it and say, do you know what, fair play, great support. Because the Liverpool men were playing at the same time.
Oh yeah, like for real, just the support arriving and the support that they got 3 coaches, that was phenomenal in itself. But the noise they made was, obviously, people know me to be one of the louder fans at Kingston Park alongside Bernie. But yeah, like,
don't worry, I don't have the BBC One clip. I was going to bring it in, but I haven't.
Oh, that would have been brilliant. Me and Bernie, so there you go. Me and Bernie were 2 who even said like they are loud. They, like, when we heard them perking up, we were perking up, and they had a big advantage. Obviously, as we're going to talk about the game, they had a big advantage in the goals being scored early, but their support was brilliant. I've propped Charlton support this season, I've propped Durham support this season, but Liverpool so far has probably been the best support that we've seen come to Kingston Park. So yeah, well done, Liverpool fans. Good Grace, keep it up, keep supporting your women like that, because it's on the rise, and we'll see us up there soon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's brilliant support. But we're up against the WSL side, as Dale mentioned. There was second place to, obviously, Man United have already picked up 6 points. We could have gone in ahead of Liverpool, but it didn't quite pan out that way, did it? So we're going to show you the reactions of the goals. This is nearly 3 minutes long. But Dale, I mean, first of all, the score of world, we're kind of applauding. What can you do with it? It's just after a few minutes, and it wasn't long until it was 2. Then it was 3, and then it was 4. And it's, for me, do you think it's Liverpool are so good, or is it the case of Newcastle was so bad, or is it a mixture of the both?
I think it was a mixture of both. From the first whistle to the last whistle, Liverpool, the passing was just absolutely phenomenal. Like three touches from players, and they were going from their defence straight into our own box, which wasn't good. But the first minute was the warning shot straight away.
The double save by Hannah.
The double save in there was like, that's a warning. But that's a warning that from a top WSL side, you have to give. That has to scream out, right? We've got to be focused. We can't do no lazy passes, because we're going to get absolutely. They'll be on more like a shot. And unfortunately, it happened. I think we're 4-0 down, and then Becky did the changes. That's the first time I saw. I think the lasses were like, for the first time, they didn't know what to do. They were trying to encourage them, but they didn't know what to do. And then Becky made the changes, and she brought Amber on, and Amber just calmed everyone down, and all of a sudden the lasses just started to get into the game. We had, like, in the first half, we had chances. And we were seeing when Sibley had the header. I would say that's the only negative. Did you really want that header to fall to Sibley?
Nah, you don't, do you? You want it to your striker, don't you? And you Dale mentioned there, Joe, that. But I noticed something. I don't know if you picked up on it. It was actually Alicia, one of the youngest on the field, if not the youngest, getting all the players together, getting to regroup after each goal was going in. Probably, I don't know what was said. Keep going, focus. Let's not make this into a rout. Let's get it, but let's get one back at least. And shows you leadership skills there from a girl who's only 20-year-old.
Oh, she's a future captain without doubt. I noticed that a lot of the time on the pitch. She was rallying people. She was patting people on the back. A fair few times she was pulling people over and just shouting quickly, like, this is what needs to be done. Like, and it is great for someone so young to have that kind of head on her shoulders, and it shows that she's more of that all-round package. I know a lot of people look at Alicia body and go, "Oh, she's this world beater," but she's not just a skillful and finesse player. She's a leader. She's got a mindset on her. Like, I follow her Instagram and stuff, and she's always about, like, striving for better and striving for more. She believes a lot in our teammates and our associates. So yeah, she's a fantastic leader, and one of those that you see in years to come will probably, and I don't think many people would disagree, she'll captain Newcastle, and she'll possibly even captain England's first team at some point. She's brilliant, really brilliant. Big all rounder without doubt.
And she's going with the under-23 England squad. So that's just gonna boost her confidence even more by just going around with them, even representing England. So, like, England and Newcastle. She's gonna come back and go to the lasses. Right, this is amazing experience. Tell them all about it. Getting all the other lasses to go, well, I want to experience that. I want to experience this.
Is there anybody that comes out of that game with the head held high? Any individuals? It's up to both of us.
I would say. Well, I'm not surprised with Amber, but if I was Amber, I would hold me held happy. Andrews is another one. She scored against Liverpool. She can go right. I just scored against the.
She's better for the middle, isn't she? Clearly,
definitely up front. When she was up front, she was causing Liverpool trouble. Like, they did a mistake. Amy Andrews bombing straight down. They were panicking. This is what the lasses. Yeah, we got beat 6. We got beat 6-1, but we all knew. Well, it's not the end of the world. They're getting experience against the top WSL side in the second half. We drew 2-1. I think was 2-1 in the second half.
2-1, aye. But do you know?
Was scored.
Johnny said something earlier on. He agreed that Becky should be rotating because it's not a competition where realistically Newcastle are going to go far, and you've already got 2 WSL sides already have a bye in the quarters. They only need to win 3 games to win the cup, which is madness. Whereas Newcastle have been handed the group of death, which is not a surprise. But it's great experience. You got a point against Everton. Yes, you got battered off Liverpool, but you learn more by not winning. That's where you learn more. And obviously, the Man United's game will be a real tough test. But the Amy Andrews thing for me, Joe, is now she's scored. Obviously, Becky said in a press conference that it should give her the confidence. So what do you do next game? Do you keep Amy up top because she scored the goal and move now Shania to the left?
I think if you're going to play and you want to get the best out of Amy Andrews, you need to play on that direct centre forward role where she's very much Alan Shearer style. She doesn't get involved in much other than an attack. A cross gets pinged up to her. She's able to carry the ball and put it in the back of the net. That's what I think needs to come from Amy Andrews. It is what it is. To call it a goal drought, she has had a bit of a goal drought, and in that goal drought, she's been playing more of an outside the box role and running into the box. I don't think it's enough for her carrying the ball. I think she needs more of that. And it's no slight on her. I think she'll be brilliant at finishing, at controlling the ball down, almost like I see like an Alan Shearer or Callum Wilson, sitting up, being a danger, being a constant threat. I think that's where Amy Andrews needs to go. And I do think at the same time, I think next match, yes, she needs to be backed again, without doubt. That goal, although I'm not the biggest fan of her performance at Liverpool. That goal in itself should be the rocket and the fuel to let her go, okay, right now I've got that goal, I can go and start banging a few more in against lesser teams. I scored against a Super League team, so why can't I score against a Championship team? Someone ping a ball to me and watch what I do with it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Amy Andrews after that goal. I really am. I think it's a big positive to pull from that game, and I hope she does get backed. I do.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, she scored in pre-season. She scored a couple in pre-season, didn't she? But
yeah.
We had to do a reaction, didn't we, afterwards? He has me and Dale's thoughts on that 6-1 drubbing. Isn't it?
Yeah, definitely been a lesson for the lasses today, but we can't credit the lasses give it a roll, but Liverpool were just a strong side from the word go to the last minute. You can tell the difference apart, but the lasses are learning, they're getting better. It's just like Rome wasn't built in a day, so the lasses are learning more and getting more experience against WSL teams, and it's good to see. Like, there is downside, but there's going to be upsides and all.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Newcastle United were beaten 6-1 today by a WSL side who showed dominance, agility, technique, pace, you name it. They were so good on and off the ball. And of course, Newcastle didn't help themselves at times, but Becky, we've interviewed her and she's already said she's very disappointed about it. But look, we've got the group of death, Dale. We had Everton, Man United, and we played Liverpool today. I think it's a good learning curve for the lasses, because if they want to compete and get it in the WSL, they're going to have to turn up against sides like this.
Definitely, I totally agree. I prefer the group of death, because that's when you can see, right, this is where we come. This is where they began with, and in learning curve, right, we did this wrong, we could do this better. They're just going to get better and better, and they know exactly what the play is going to be like. So bring on the group of death, because they're just going to learn and they're just going to experience it more and come back going, we know what, next time we'll get the group of death, we're going to go through, we're going to advance. Which is good for Becky, because I know Becky wants the team to do as well. But there's going to be, but like what we say in football, you're going to have your good times, you're going to have your bad times. Unfortunately, the group of death, you're going to get bad times, but the main thing is you're learning, so that's an upside.
Yeah, it's all about the experience, isn't it? Look, I don't think, in honesty, we don't normally criticise the ladies, but I don't think many shone today. Maybe Amber Keegan-Stubbs was good at the back, and Amy Andrews got a well-deserved goal, because she's only got one before today and she's on 2 now, so that'll give her confidence a massive boost. But Newcastle have been taught a lesson here at Kingston Park, and well over 3,000, so it's great to see that, especially when it's been streamed live by Liverpool and also by our club as well. So a couple of comments coming in. She's classes Mickey on Alicia. Ian's gone out and say she hasn't been injured nearly enough to be compared to Wilson. Yeah, that's in Amy Andrews, I'm guessing. James gone out and say, I've got my ticket for Man United away in 2 weeks' time. Will be my first lasses game of the season. Come up, James. We're all there.
He's going to be in for a treat.
I think my brother's making a trip down as well, so I think he'll get on with Joe. I think because him and Joe are very similar personalities.
Jesus, imagine them two on a live together. Jeez. Oh.
It'll get views. And Matt's gone and said, I think our next run of games is going to be interesting from a team selection point of view. Hopefully get some consistency with playing the bottom 3 in the league, but also managing 2 to 3 cup games as well. Yeah, we do have some, I wouldn't say favourable fixtures, because you can never say that, but on paper you would think Newcastle playing the likes of Sheffield United and Blackburn on the rise, and you would hope that we get some points. But the last one from, go on, Dale.
I was going to say, everyone says, oh well, we're playing the bottom of the league, like the bottom teams. That nothing's. Yeah, people will say, oh yeah, we're more favourites, but it's in 90 minutes, anything can happen. You can't like in this league, it's so close. Like a point can take you from first down to 5th, 6th.
I think it's a top 8 division, and the bottom 3 are kind of like falling away now, aren't they? So, yeah. But here's Becky's reaction to the 6-1 bat run.
It was a harsh lesson from a good WSL side. We wanted to see today's game as a bit of a yardstick to kind of see where we're at. And that level is really good level, and we need to keep aspiring to be a women's Super League team. But first half comparison to second half, I think second half we showed a lot more fighting character, which is good. Good reaction from the halftime team talk, I think there was lots of chances still in the game for us, which was interesting. I thought even when we were 4-0 down in the first half, we'd had a good amount of chances, and probably arguably more chances than we did the week before against Southampton. So I think Amy posed a real good threat, and I'm really delighted that Amy got on the score sheet today, because I thought it credited her hard work, and was almost a reward for that hard work for the last kind of 6 weeks. It was a good finish as well. So yeah, obviously disappointed, but more character shown in that second half. I think that last goal, it almost kills us slightly, because it's like we could have come away from it going, we've drawn the second half, we're in a much better reaction from the start of the game. So Liverpool, I thought, started really bright, and we were on the back foot quite early. But yeah, I think it's one of them we'll assess and look back at and just go, how can we be better?
Says, yeah, so a very, very, very tough one. So yeah, it's a shame. But you know what that music means, everybody. I'm kind of just winging it with this. It's time for some clues, because we will reveal clue number 3 next. So we'll just recap, everybody. We'll go back to clue 1. Who am I? I do not support Newcastle United. Who am I? Clue 3. I was present at away trips to Dortmund and PSG, plus pre-season in Tokyo.
Oh, come on!
Oh, yeah.
He's thrown a curveball, hasn't he? He's thrown a curveball. So remember, this could be anybody associated with Newcastle United. It's not me, by the way, everyone, because obviously I support the team. So we'll just go back whilst everyone's getting their thinking caps on as well.
What?
Clue 1. I do not support Newcastle United. There's the first clue. Clue 2, if I can find it, because I did just scroll past it. There it is.
No, he wasn't.
Oh my God.
Which is a little bit more tougher. I was present at away trips to Dortmund and PSG. So that's the men's in the Champions League and the men's pre-season in Tokyo. Who am I? Interesting.
Do you know what's bugging me, Lee? Do you know what's bugging me? I remember you talking to me because of how much we spoke when you were in Tokyo. And I remember you telling me you were speaking to someone at the women's, and I can't remember for the life of it who it is. I've literally, all of my names have been narrowed down to one name, but I'm certain that's not who it is. So that's a struggle.
Comment out before I lose them. Ian's just going to say, I'm just glad to say the rapid improvement on the lasses. James thinks it's Eddie Howe.
No.
Wow. No, that's not Eddie Howe.
Is Eddie Howe associated with Newcastle United Women?
I was gonna say
maybe not. Dan Ashworth.
That's what I was thinking. Dan
Ashworth, was he out in Tokyo? Was he?
Oh,
so you never know who these people could be. So they
I vote down. I vote Dan.
As a recap, it could be a current, it could be an ex-player. If they have some sort of affiliation, it could be a staff member. But these are the clues that we're given. We should.
I think Lee. I think you've given a fourth clue in what you've just said.
Nope, I have not. I will give a fourth clue. She's already been seen in this live stream.
Oh, come on, man!
Lee, man.
Gee.
She's already been seen on this live stream. Very, very. If you're eagle-eyed, you would have spotted her. But we're going through to talk about where Newcastle United came from with Rachel Laws. Here's Rachel.
Player on the channel, everybody. But yes, she has the Liverpool badge, but she have a very, very thick Geordie accent, Rachel. This would have been an interesting day for you coming up here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, look, I'm a Liverpool player, and I'm ecstatic that we won. You know, we scored some very good goals, a good team performance. Shame we couldn't have kept a clean sheet at the end, but yeah, good day all round. Seen a few familiar faces, but it was a good day. Yeah,
you obviously. First time, maybe for a long time, you've seen Newcastle in the flesh. And obviously, yes, I know it's 2 squad-rotated games, but you can see the difference when Newcastle are trying to push and they're putting a lot of money into the team and getting in that WSL. But for me, it looked like it was 2 different levels.
Yeah, and look, it's not easy to come up into the league Newcastle have come up in, and it's certainly not easy to come from the Championship to the Women's Super League, and I think the gap showed a little bit today. But look, Newcastle are a new team, they're learning, they signed a lot in the summer. What Becky's doing is good, and you can see things that she's kind of putting in practice on the training pitch, trying to come off in games, and they'll get there, but it's probably a learning season for them. But yeah, they'll have some good moments, they'll have bad moments, but overall they'll probably succeed.
Rachel coming on the channel once again. She's been on with Johnny and Sam a couple of times, talking about her career, and then she's been on for the cup final, and then messaged her through the week as well to try and get her on as well. And thanks to Dale being cameraman for that. It's absolutely windy, but she seems to know everyone. She knew every single person that was walking past. Obviously, she is a Geordie, but she has a lot of contacts. Talking to Grace for a while, the goalkeepers union as well, so that was good to see. So that was Rachel on the whole development. And Dale, I'll come to you on this as well, is that we've come a long way. Yes, we've been hammered off Liverpool. It was disappointing, but we have came a long way in the last 2-3 years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Shot as well, Dale. Squeeze along again. There you go.
Yeah, I've just realised that. Definitely we've come a long way. Coming on from the easier tiers, it was just dead simple. We're just getting easy goals. But I'm proud for the lasses. They've come a long way, and we got back at 6-1. But you can see the confidence. The confidence. They're just going to grow and grow, and we're going to go along. It's a long project. That's what everyone thinks. If we don't get promoted this season, we've always got the next couple of seasons to get there, and the bit of how we're going to go.
Champions League. A long way. I think we've got to look at it and think we're playing WSL side now, which is class.
Exactly.
Which is brilliant. I mean, we're playing with the dog in the field last season, so you know what I mean?
It was though half the grounds.
You can allow your dogs in. That's it. And I'd love to take Ferdinand, but I can't get him in any grounds in a minute. He's got to leave him in the car. Do our thing. But we'll switch it back to Newcastle with a couple of news this week before we reveal who am I. So internationals this week. Lewis Joel, as ever, called up for the Welsh side. Shania with Jamaica. Shania was pictured with all her toon kit. She had toon shorts on. She had a toon bag on in training. That was great to see. But Alicia, me and Dale seen her, literally, as we came out of the press and packed up, and she had all of her England gear on, and she went with one of the Liverpool players in a private car and headed off down to Burton, where the St. George's Park is. And she made her under-23 debut last night, got half an hour. Which is brilliant, isn't it, Joe? How far she's come again. We've already talked about them, but we've now got 3 internationals.
It's unreal to see, having internationals on the whole on the Newcastle United women's team. It's a phenomenal thing to see. There's days where we dreamed of having a lass who just played for an international team. I wish one of these would get a chance. And now we've got 3, and for 3 separate teams, 2 of which being very, 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 very dominant teams. And the Jamaican women's team is really coming up through the ranks. To see the likes of Shania Hales getting starts, getting put on it. It's a pride as well. It's real big pride. It's one of those where, for me, with my little Emmy and the way she looks at it, it's able to turn around and go, look, they're not just playing for Newcastle, they're playing for their country. That's big. That's huge. It's history making, and it just shows the caliber of club that we're becoming, that we are. That we are going for the top spots. Most of the time, you wouldn't see players from a championship club getting called up to the country, not at all. But nowadays we've got 3 and we're a championship club. Come on, it's changing the game. It really is.
And that England side is I'm talking about the first team is one of the best in the world. It's incredibly tough to get it in that midfield. Yeah. So they're under 23, and she's only 20, Alicia, so plenty of time to go. Obviously goes to under 23 for the women's, under 21s for the men's. So we've got 3 now, which is great to see. No doubt we'll have more as the next couple of years progress. So that was really, really nice. And obviously they've just playing with the international break. But one eagle eye. Who are we going to get in the FA Cup? That was the next one that we all had our eyes on Monday. I'll just read out some of your comments, actually. Is it Joe's arm? He's got his arm in Japan. And Physio says, Mickey, Ian says, Howie the Lasses, and Matt's gone out and say this whole season will be a learning and adapting to whatever happens, we'll be better for it. The league's so close, I think we will still be in promotion conversation as at the business end.
Yeah, without doubt.
Hell yeah.
So
I think we're going to get there.
It'd be very tight. I said top 5, and I'm sticking to that. FA Cup, of course, we were all watching who would Newcastle get? And of course, it was Hull, but Middlesbrough.
Ah, come on, it's got to be Borough. I hope it's Borough. Up the Borough.
Oh,
Now I am
no,
actually
I don't.
going to this game, so I'll be watching Hull versus Middlesbrough, as I'm at Crystal Palace, and I'm actually going down there for the night, and I'm staying over. On the way back up, I'll be cutting in to see how this gets on. I'm going to put it on NFTV Extra because I will be allowed to film some of the match because there's different rules. So I'll get you a vlog from Hull and Middlesbrough. But you're probably thinking, well, what's the big deal? What is the big FA Cup?
Another derby.
Yeah.
Derby.
You might call it a derby, but it's one of them. That's
a question I've got. I've got a question. If Middlesbrough beat Borough, are the Newcastle lasses on loan eligible to play? Well, you know what I mean. If Middlesbrough beat Hull, are the Newcastle lasses that are on loan allowed to play?
No, surely not.
I don't think so.
Surely not.
Because I think Becky Ferguson comes back anyways in January anyway. But what's interesting is that Middlesbrough have about 12 or 13 ex-Newcastle players, which is incredible. And yes, the Twitter admin doesn't like that, doesn't like getting reminded. So if you go onto Middlesbrough's Twitter and just remind them that half the squad is Newcastle. But yeah, it's full of ex-Newcastle players, absolutely loads. So I'll be popping it and see how it gets. And it's interesting that we've got Middlesbrough because you don't know where to put yourself, do you? It's like, well, there's Laura Wareham, there's Ellen Packham, there's Jane Harland, there's Beth Guy, there's Becky Ferguson if she's allowed, there's Robson, Shauna Wilkinson, Laura Robson. There's loads of
He has a one for me that I turn around and I say, right, we have to watch out if out of them two draws, you would automatically go. We need to be careful because some of them Borough players could want to come back and show a point. Yeah. They might want to they might have a chip on the shoulder. They might be like, right, Becky, you dropped me from this team. Watch what I do. Watch us beat you. Now, we need to be careful for that, really careful, because they're going to have a fire underneath them. But it should make for a really, really good game. I hope it's Borough, me. I really do. I'll be devastated if they lose on Sunday. I will. Never thought I'd say that.
If Middlesbrough get through, fingers crossed, for the first time this season, we'll have opposition players coming over at the Newcastle fans.
Yes, we will. That's going to be what? That's mad. I haven't thought of that. We will. Sean, I'll be straight over at Laney.
You'll have all of because a lot of them have only just went to Borough the last couple of years, so a lot of them are still Geordies. A lot of them still support Newcastle. A lot of them still hang out with each other as well. So, there's Cozy. He hasn't had any guesses in there. And good evening. Well, Cozy, we haven't quite revealed who am I? So if you're tuning in late, we are about to do that next. But it's a great FA Cup tie and it's third round. If we do want Middlesbrough to win that one, which I wouldn't normally say, to be honest, but I don't have any hatred to Middlesbrough. It's Sunderland I do, but not for me. I don't class Middlesbrough as like to now a drive. It's not local to me. But Beth Guy left the other month to go to Leeds. I did not know that, Cozy. I did not know that.
I've got a question.
Emma Kelly and Body used to play for Middlesbrough, of course, as well, says James. Yeah, go on, Dale.
For Who Am I, does a commentator count as being employed by Newcastle?
If employed by Newcastle, they are employed by Newcastle.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, would that count, though?
If they get paid off Newcastle, that means they're employed, aren't they?
Yeah, but I don't know if the person I'm asking is...
What's the weird questions?
No, I'm just asking because I'm not sure. One of me guesses, the third one's kind of threw us off.
Well, that was the whole purpose.
Yeah.
Of course he's watching, which he is now. So, anything else to wrap up on the FA Cup, lads? Are you excited by it?
I'm excited by that. Another derby, bring it on. Although you don't count it as a derby, but I do.
I count it as regional. I don't class it as like a... I don't know. It's kind of, they close at Leeds and then what to us. But we're coming towards the end. If you drop us a like on the video, that'd be wonderful. If you're listening, 5 stars. We are gonna start to
say as well. I'm literally catching up with Cozy right now. About he's asking us what clue 1 is. What clue
I'm going to go through it.
He's trying to get his guess in before this bit. So let's see what happens.
Let's play this one. A little bit of soft music. Okay, so let's go back to clue 1. Here we go, everyone. Clue 1. I do not support Newcastle United. I do not support Newcastle United. So that rules out Geordie's, basically.
Yep.
This opens it wide open. I was present at away trips to Dortmund and PSG, plus pre-season in Tokyo. Maybe the seen Lee, potentially. You never know. Maybe
Definitely would have. You speak to everyone, they definitely seen you, however.
So we'll just do a recap then. Get your guesses coming in, everybody. So clue one more time. I do not support Newcastle. Clue two.
I've got to think.
I was also present at away trips to Dortmund and PSG, plus the season in Tokyo. Right then, so we shall go through question one, lads. Right, who did you have for number one? Just randomly, you had one or two. Joe,
I had Paige.
Paige, Billy, Gill.
Yeah.
Okay.
My initial one from one was I had Claudia Moan and Jodie Bartle came straight to my mind. I was like, them are the two I'm going to stick with, and only one of them stayed through clue two as well, and I had a few more.
So clue two narrows it down because they only joined last season. So Dale, who have you got at this stage?
I had Cataldo, Boys, and Andy Cook.
Good shout. Joe?
At this point, I had added actually Aaron Hindhoff because I wasn't sure if he actually supports Newcastle or not. And I also had, this is when I started to put stuff in, I also put Craigsy in because I'm pretty certain Craigsy isn't a Newcastle supporter and he likes to go about a lot. He's currently away at loads of different stadiums and that.
Well, he was in the San Siro just in front of me, mind, for the Champions League game.
I was thinking Craigsy as well, but I thought he's been there more than one season.
Yep. He has. And then clue three, been away trips to Dortmund, PSG, and also I was in Tokyo.
I went with Aaron.
Aaron Embleton? Is that what you mean?
The commentator.
Joe, have you got for number three?
I've got down, and I'm pretty certain both of these are wrong, but I've got down Emma Haley and Cody Nichols, but I'm pretty certain they've both been, and in fact, I know Emma's been at the club longer than last year, so but that third clue has threw me completely, and I know you've told us who it was. I know you've told us who it was. I know
it's just being seen on this live stream very, very vaguely on one of these clips. It has been seen. So we shall reveal. Ta-da!
Oh, Harriet Mann, of course. yes. Oh, my goodness.
Who am I? I am Harriet Massey. Yeah, she's the young photographer. She supports Sheffield Wednesday. And she was employed last season, around about October time. So I think she just had a year. And she was out on club staff duty, Tokyo away. And she was at the PSG trips helping Serena as well. So it was Harriet Massey, who is a club photographer and predominantly covers, and God rest his soul, Collins Place now. So she is more or less, I wouldn't say she call her official women's photographer, but she does more than anybody else. Darren Eales, James, good shout. It's a good shout. I don't think Corsy's got that, because he would have...
Right, he's just... Now, obviously, we're on a delay here, but he has messaged us and he said, now the message came through at 21:48, and he said, I'll say Harriet Massey. Now, I'd already agreed that it won't affect his 100% streak because he's came in pretty much on the last clue. He hasn't had much time to think about it. But he might have been right. I guess we'll never know.
I think it's
we'll never know.
I think it's a 20-second delay, that's all it is. So, yeah, it was Harriet Massey was the wobbler. That was the wobbler. So, yeah. I'll try to be a little bit more smarter this week. I might just... Do you know what I might do next time? Just make it so plain obvious that you get it wrong.
Yeah, that's probably that's what I'm expecting to happen on the next episode. You'll do one that's obvious. You're going to be thinking, searching through everything, and then...
It's just one that stares right in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that. Who Am I? It's getting a little bit more popularity now. Everyone's starting to join in, which is good. And what we have done is recapped the last two fixtures of Newcastle. Obviously, they have the weekend off. They play next weekend, and they'll play the winners of Hull versus Middlesbrough. Then there's the Manchester United game, which is on Wednesday night. And then they go back to Blackburn, which I will miss that because that clashes with us playing Leicester, who've just appointed Ruud van Nistelrooy the night as Leicester manager. But yeah, Dale, enjoyed that?
Oh, yeah. I was glad to be a part of it, and definitely do more with you.
Captain Joe, as ever, happy with that?
Absolutely buzzing. I'm still stressed out, and I'm not going to let you live that down, that third clue, because that is that's.
See where I've got it from, though. Yeah, picture together, photographer.
Brilliantly done. Everything the way you've done it, it threw us off. That's one of the best ones you've done yet, I think, personally.
Because I was trying to make you think it was a fan.
I was thinking it was an obscure club member.
That's what I thought. So, I thought that's why I went Andy.
I was adamant until you turned around at one point and you went she.
Yeah,
and I was like, hold on a minute. It's not
Aaron. And I'll
and
show you where she appears in this live stream, because you will hear Johnny speak. It's when the lasses come out. Let me just get you that clip.
Oh, it's right there. Oh,
it's
my
right
God.
in front of you. Have a little look at this. You'll see her.
Going to be a really tough test. Yes, Liverpool have made changes, but we've made changes as well. And I actually agree with Becky's mind on this one in terms of making a few changes, getting some minutes in people's legs. I think Emma Kelly starting's a real bonus for Newcastle. Really interested to see Emma Kelly enlist your body in that midfield.
There she was, kneeling down, taking a photo. Just already been on the stream.
So when you turned around earlier and you said it's someone who's could be associated with the women's club, and you've seen them in all of them places, I was like, Paul Mitchell. I was like, Paul Mitchell. And then again, it's when you said she. It literally, I had no guesses. I had no guesses. That's how I ended up having Emma Haley and Cody Nichols. Oh, crikey.
Good, I've got them. I've beaten them this week. Well done. We'll get someone else to have a go next time, and I'll do the graphics. But that's it from me, Joe and Dale. We'll have loads more on the main channel, obviously Palace away, and as I say, we'll on Extra over the weekend. I'll be going to see how Hull versus Middlesbrough. Joel, no doubt, will have loads of stuff probably on Extra, North Shields, etc., etc. But that's it from us three, everyone. Drop us a like, and if you smash it on the 5 stars on the audio, that would be wonderful.